Please tell me we're live now. All right, I think we are. Did it happen? Yay! We are live, finally, guys. All right, I think because I set that premiere thing, it started interrupting with me when I actually hit live. So we are good. We are good. Thanks for everyone tuning in, being so prompt. I was even late to my own party, so I appreciate you guys. And I think I might just give it a little bit, a couple minutes just to say what's up and see how everyone else is going. Yeah, I had to clean up for the stream, I had to be a little more professional. Still rocking the Hogwarts shirt, though, so anti-professional. But that's the way we're living. But welcome, Andrew, Sabrina, Isaac, and Cameron. Glad to see you guys in here. So something I do want to premise this week. I don't know if you guys have caught up with the first 3 episodes, but this week was a dip in the performance. As you might see the title, it was a struggle because I had been building a lot from week 1 to week 2 to week 3. And, you can't just continually keep on that rise. So this was kind of the first week where I had to really listen to my body and say, hey, maybe we need to just be totally cool with dropping down a little bit. So with that, I'm going to just bring it on over real quick and show this guy. And, I messed that up. Display. No, I guess it's gone, guys. Oh, wait. I was clicking the wrong button. There we go. Oh. And that thing is huge. Sorry, guys. This is the struggles that I'm living with right now. I'm trying to figure out how to live stream as I go, apparently. All right, here we go. All right, so here's what I want to break down for everyone right now. And let me pull this on over. Actually, no, we're good there. Cameron, you were at the 2019 American Cup with the signs. Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate you supporting even over in the American Cup times. That was a wild competition. I did not think that was going to play out as well as it did for me. But here's what I want to show you guys, and this is what I've been tracking for a little while. So this was week 1. I took 44 turns for the entire week, and I did 10 routines. So that was, summing up week 1. I did Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are the days I do mostly my skills, 13, 16, 15. So, that was a good starting week, but we got to progress from there. So we go week 2, I did 51 turns. So that was, a jump of, math, 7, 44 to 51. Yeah, 7. There we go. 7 turns. So same amount of routines, but, we're figuring it out, slowly progressing. We did 10, 16, 23. So we did a little bit less on Tuesday, but I was more efficient on week 2. So you have to keep that in mind. My turns were less, but they were still denser. And then, so after that, we went into, so now we're into week 3, and I took 69 turns. So that was actually a significant jump than I did the week before. So that was 51 to 61, or 69. That is 18 more turns. So with that being said, it was expected that I was definitely on a crazy rise. I had to drop down. So that was a big change. And you could tell Friday, 12 turns, normal Tuesday, that was actually pretty standard. Wednesday and Friday, I was feeling good. If you guys remember that episode 3, excuse me, I was ready to kill it. And so that's why I took the most of my body feeling good. 28 turns, 23 turns. I even took turns on Saturday. I was doing crazy ring strength that day. So I was going hard towards the end of the week. Hence why we started getting into week 4, this current week. I still took 60 turns, but it was a dip from the 69 and the turns were not quite as dense. So with that, I just wanted to premise with the beginning saying that this was really a tough week for me, and it's not going to be as exciting as week 3 was, but we're going to get going into, let me click the wrong, hold on, editing issues, because I'm a newbie. All right, we're going to minimize that. Bring this guy out and get ready for, wait for it. Oh, it's not coming up. Oh, there we go. Let me start that over, guys. Sorry about that. Monday. All right, so real quick, I'll answer a question from Zed that I'm liking. Do you have any advice on mental blocks? And I definitely came across this issue because when I was coming back and doing skills, I was having mental blocks. Like I wouldn't know what to do on certain skills. I didn't know what to think when I was trying. And so really what it took was just doing the basics and just continually doing them to the point where you finally have the confidence in yourself to go for it. Because if you're scared for any reason, you should never go for a skill. That is the first lesson that I should tell you right now, is that is not a safe way to do gymnastics. So with that being said, please just keep doing it until you feel comfortable. That's when people get hurt and injuries happen, is when you do things you don't feel you're ready to do. I have not had any rips. I stayed true to that. I did not get any rips during this whole process. But so far so good. Maybe I jinxed myself. Week 5's not going to be so good. But what up, Moses? Good to see. Oh, Josh, yeah, you're very welcome for the birthday wishes. But with that being said, we are about to hit on to vault. And vault, if you remember last week, I was having a lot of problems. I've been doing 3-4 different techniques every single week, it seems like. And so we're going to start a little slow-mo action. Turn number 1. So I am trying if you guys remember, it's the Daiki technique. And so that comes along with, get ready for, I got Daiki pulled up right here. If you guys remember this video from last week, here, I'll mute it. This man is teaching me some crazy things. Beautiful cos double. That's what I want to do. I haven't done that since 2016, a cos double full. So that is the goal. And this man, hold on, where we at? I'm going to break this down for you guys. He is about to block with his left hand, right? And so when you do a cartwheel, you always turn the way that, like, he would put his right hand down first, and then his left hip's going to come up. So what this man's about to do, he doesn't have, like, or I guess what is that? So he's here, trying to think of this. So his left hip is up, but it's like you could tell that he was still very square. And that's something that is very different. Like his heels are coming up, but you could tell like he's still driving through a front handspring. He's not actually getting his shoulders or like his like whole side to the table. He's going through that handspring rotation. And so that's what I've been trying to do. And he's watching his hand. That's something I don't do. I always like look the other way for some reason. So I'm working on that. And Daiki just does it so beautifully. And I want to be just like him one day. So here's my attempts. Look at this position that I'm in. Let me swing this back to vaults. All right. So here we go. This is actually like a pretty good sit-up position. However, I'm not getting turnover, and I land super awkward turtle right there. So kind of a bummer. But I'm trying to like get the concept of what Daiki's doing right now. So I try to like, all right, a little more sit-up. Things are looking a lot better there. And then I start going into some big boy vaults. Punch it, block it. I'm like, I kind of see what's going on, but my head is still so ducked. And so I'm trying through this to keep my head up a little longer, but then I feel like I get hung up for a little bit during that process. So then I'm like, all right, let's just do it again. Head up, but then I got my heels over me just still a little bit too much. Because it's like, all right, I'm already starting to duck my head. I'm like, I'm not looking down my hands like Daiki was. And I'm looking over my left shoulder. I should have my head over my right shoulder. So doing all these things wrong right now. But I'm still trying to ingrain this new technique. I'm like actually relearning vault right now. So I punch. Things I've been also trying, keeping my elbows into my stomach as I'm like hurtling through. So let me see if you can. It's coming like closer through my side than I normally do. I used to like come up here. Super awkward trying to change this. But, this was a good one with my heel drive, but I'm still throwing my hand, like, out to the side. Like, I'm trying to, I don't know, send it over to some friends. It's not what I should be doing, and my head's not looking the right way. But this was Monday, taking us into Tuesday. So here we go. We started on Tuesday, high bar and, high bar and rings day. Starting some taps, and if you guys remember, I was very upset with my my legs on my taps. Like, the way I bend my legs just has been very frustrating. And this is a pretty, good first turn. I'm just flowing right now. And, that was rough. That was I'm just warming up. But here's where I'm trying so hard to keep my form. And here, I'm going to take that back just a little bit. Get ready for this. Oh, back. All right, look at these knees. I'm trying so hard, and they still bend. And I can get away with it on a Coleman, but I even had that little leg split right there. So, and hold on, let me see. Mr. Cam J. It doesn't look like you're bending your elbow as much as he does. Yeah, that's something I'll start getting into I think either end of this week or going into next week. But yeah, I know that's part of it. Is I'm also my board is really far away right now, and I think Dikey's really close. So I usually vault at like 2.9. I scooted it up to 2 feet. So, I'm making some changes so that I can get that elbow in and tucked a little bit more. And Haley, you're very welcome for the birthday wishes for your sister. But yeah, we're into Tuesday, Cameron. We're into Tuesday. And we're getting into some good stuff. So, really focusing on, oh my God, that was so good. And Andre's going to tell me every time that I duck my head on when I catch. And it's kind of true, but look at that. I've got my pressure and gone. That's all right. We're still warming up. And the goal right now, I think, is just to really focus on doing the taps. See, I repeated it because I needed it to be better than it was before. But then there we go. That was a solid layout. Felt good enough to do the Tkachev half out of it. So we're making moves. Like, that's where I need to be. Like, quick warm up, get right to it. So now is when I'm trying Casina, really tight legs. And this is when I start getting frustrated because, well, actually, let me take you back to that last one. Because it started taking us on this crazy journey. And Andre's my coach. Sorry for those of you who I haven't explained that to. But, all right, check this out. So I'm here, spike, drop, open, knee bend. And so we have that awesome video camera right here. And I was just like, Andre, I don't know what to do. Like, no matter how hard I'm consciously thinking of keeping my legs straight, I am not keeping my legs straight. So at this point, I tell myself, all right, well, what am I doing wrong? Like, why do I bend my knees? It's a compensation for something. What am I compensating for? The fact that my pressure and direction isn't going the right way. And so the way to get my feet over my head a little bit more is by bending my knees. So I'm like, all right, well, who's really, really good at not bending their knees? The Japanese. And so here's where we start getting into something that I'm not super proud of, but kind of was just a good experiment to have. But we're trying the Japanese style Kovacs tap. So hard kick over, open, and it still looked very much like my normal tap. I didn't do it well. So I was like, Andre, let's just do the tap. So we're here, and it still kind of looked pretty normal. I do it again. I'm like, all right, that wasn't the Japanese. There we go. Now we're looking like King Kohei. And that was just so segmented. But I think something that, let me see if it was this one, that I was like, wait, but maybe my knees are actually better. So here's the tap. Do I bend my knees? Not as bad. If I was wearing pants, maybe I'd get away with it. What do you guys think? And Isaac Finn, you see there's a pit under the bar. Yeah, we're not allowed to use the pit though, and we're actually swapping that out because of COVID. We're getting like big fluff mats next. But so this actually did make me feel like I was doing more in my shoulders and less in my knees, and I felt like my toes were coming over in that kick a lot better. So I was like, maybe there is something to this. And that one actually had a little bit better rhythm, but I did get loose because it was second turn and I wasn't as conscious. So we're getting there. Yeah, no, white pants, chin, no. White pants will never help you get away with those types of things. But yeah, so at that point, I think I was like, all right, Andre, like I've done way too many taps. My hands are on fire. And this just like, ew. So I was like, why did I even try doing that tap with a Casina? Like I couldn't even really do the tap. Why did I throw a Casina? But it's because I get eager and impatient. And sometimes I'm just like, if it's not working, let's just see. Maybe magic will do it. Wasn't a smart move, but that's all right. We got some bigger fish to fry. I was like, let's save some energy for some Liukins. And there it is. That was my clip from the Instagram post. So I was just, I dyno armed that one. But if you guys want a quick lesson in what makes a good Tkachev, I'm going to take you guys through it. So it's being hollow right till this point. You're going to start opening once you hit that that vertical at the bottom, pulling in, squeezing your butt right here. You don't want to pike. That is a horrible move. But then you just coast. You coast and you just let pressure take you out to that horizontal. Stay tight, squeeze the butt. You're going to kick. And so I want to reverse kick this thing. Tkachevs, it doesn't really matter what you do on the tap. It's all about what you do in the front. And we're about to get into that. So here we go. Do I kick the little thingamabobby? Yes, I do. Aggressive kick. And this is how you know you're going to catch your Tkachev / Liukin. So, but yeah, the Japanese tap, Finn, what you're saying, the big difference is that they're very archy through all their giants like that. This is me trying it in my routine. And so you see how there's so many different body positions. It's partially because the Japanese are lighter guys and they need more momentum to work the bar. But with me, I usually did the Epke style where I just bounce and push away. And it works well, but to be honest, like I really have always struggled with keeping my knees bent with that technique. So I just wanted to try something new. I don't think I really continued doing I tried it on Friday to do the Japanese technique, but I stopped doing it after because I was this week, or week 5 is where we're at. I'm a little behind, so I'm catching up with this one, but we're going to get there. And as you can tell, this is part of me being gassed. I'm on my first event of the week, and I can hardly get through my routine. So, I fell on my Stalder. I fell on my dismount. That was when I started realizing, like, hey, this might actually be a very down week. So, we decided, I redid my dismount because I never want to end on a bad turn. But I decided to take, stop there because I had already taken, 19 turns. I took 11 turns on high bar, which was definitely a high, but I was like, all right, well, we're going to just save our energy because obviously I'm already dying for rings. But before we get into rings, I'll check in the chat real quick. The Japanese do know very good technique. That is something that they're very good at, and they're very clean, which is why I always look for them for answers. But bad news, your sister smashed one of her friend's lights and the glass cut her knee. Oh, send her prayers. Send in prayers. This is on her birthday too? Gosh, I'm so sorry. That is like very unfortunate birthday present right there. And then on the Tkachevs, how do you make the slower Tkachev tap work better? So gymnastics is a lot about acceleration. And when you do the slow pullover tap, you open, you just get extension. All you want is pressure and extreme range of motion so that when you do kick through, the fastest part, and because you're already wound up from your tap, is all in the front. And that is where you actually make the slow tap become even faster. That's where your speed needs to be at the most, in that front. And so the more you can throw your shoulders and your heels at the exact same time with the whip you get from your extended tap that is slow, is how you're going to get that great turnover and that great height. That's the Tkachev way to go for sure. And 2010 Sam had a very different tap. Yeah, things have changed a lot. And Isaac, I definitely think I will be getting into pommel horse. I'm just not quite ready for it. We have some new scientific studies going on right now, so that's been helping quite a bit. But the last one, you just rewatched old videos on your computer. Oh, out of context, you're good. You're good. But now we're going to take it into rings. So I think this is the first time I'm doing a second half as my very first turn. And this is my usual warm-up when I'm in shape and doing routines. But it's kind of a crazy thing because this is the first time doing it, and it's not pretty. Oh, actually, no, that was a lot better than I was thinking that was going. It was last week that it was actually really rough. I was just watching those videos. So, yeah, this actually turned out pretty good. I did not pull over enough on that dismount, but I was like, hey, that's not too shabby, guys. Not too shabby. I'll get into the wrist in a little bit, but, end up doing my ring circuit to end the day because that's always how I close out the ring sesh. But let's see I have to do a 30-second handstand, so let's see how the last 30 seconds are. And this is where you actually get really good at rings for competitions. When you can hold their handstands at the end. That's what separates the best gymnasts on rings for sure. But as you can tell, I'm not there yet. If I did that in a competition, judges and I think the whole crowd and all my fans would be like, dang, he's lost his way, guys. He's lost his way. But then we go into ring strength because that's just continuation of our Tuesdays. Let's do one turn of our dream machine, which always super nice to do. It's super easy, great warm up. I say it every week, but it really is that phenomenal. And so after that, I think we start rolling into the big boy ring strength. And this is, I still am hopeful that this is going to be a good week at this point in time. So I'm like, all right, let's keep doing Zarian. I'm like, all right, not too shabby. Maltese, pretty flat, great position. Andre, my coach, is super stoked. Nakayama, I'm taking 35 pounds off, but my elbows don't feel like they're going to explode right now. But here's the good stuff. Me trying my Zarian Maltese, I was feeling way too boss right now. I was like, man, I think I could do it. And I'd go for it, and it's absolute garbage. This is a high back lever, guys. High back lever at best. And so I'm not going to get F credit. I'm getting, an A for that. So I decided to scrap it. Let's not jump the gun. I keep doing it. I keep wanting to do more, but let's just finish out with some good strength. So after this day, I knew I wasn't in the greatest mindset mentally, but I was like, hey, right now I just need to, finish this day, get as much out of it as I can. I pushed through what was already a bit of a struggle, and I decided, yeah, that's not going to be the way I go. So let me see how I feel on Wednesday. And Wednesday I felt worse because I pushed it so hard. So this is our 1-on-4 day too. And so at this point, I also have to say we're getting our floor or our pits taken out right now. So, because they're doing cleaning, they're doing measurements for our new big fluff system that they're putting in, where it will be COVID friendly apparently. So they're measuring, all our pits are pulled out and all over the place in the back gym. So I had to do my floor stuff on this floor, which got me thinking that I really need to start doing more passes here. This is when you don't know you have a skill until you do it up on the real floor. And that is a huge, huge difference of doing things into the pit mentally. And so I didn't do my full, last week, I did a much more difficult routine on floor because I had the pit. I decided to take it back a week. I think this is the week 2 routine, just because I really wasn't feeling up to, standards, physically or mentally even. And I was like, well, let's just be cool, play it safe. Let's get the lungs burning. That's really all these endurance routines are for. And let's not try to get new skills this week because new skills are going to take a lot of turns and I just don't have the energy for that. And while this routine pans out, let me just check out some, what Hogwarts house am I? Some of the chat. I am a Slytherin house. Very proud representative. They're not all bad guys, I swear. And I tried Victorian in the Dream Machine, and that's the only way I think I'll ever be able to do it. But Colt, good to see you, Colt. Welcome. when did ring strength really start clicking for you? You mean in terms of me coming back from quarantine, or in terms of like, before quarantine? When was like at what age did I feel like I finally got strong? But while you reply to that, Haley, your sister's gonna be all right. Thank the Lord. I'm glad I could help. We're going to Kennywood for birthday. I don't know what Kennywood is, but hopefully that's a good celebration. And try not to land so low it can really hurt your ankles. Yeah, no, low landings are not good for floor. But I don't do very many back passes, which is part of my strategy. And favorite grips for rings, I'm going to say I use Reichels, so for rings and high bar. But yeah, Cole, I'll just try answering that question. Once I got to the training center after college, I was probably 22 years old. That's when ring strength really felt like it started clicking for me. But I honestly still don't feel like rings is clicked yet for me. Once I do my first like Maltese and cross on the big boy rings, that's when I think I'll be like, yes, I'm at a good point right now. But so yeah, we're gonna. Oh, what up, Paul? Welcome. Glad to see you tuning in, my guy. And Haley, I won't try to scare you. I swear. You saw one of the sticks where Tim Daggett. Oh, yeah. What classic Tim Daggett saying is like a toothpick in a club sandwich. That was always one of my favorites that he said. Tips on Busnari. I'll get into that a little bit later. I need to cruise through a little bit. We're 1/3 of the way through this week's review, but ask that at the end for a little bit. So just to remind me. And so I'm still struggling, guys, on this week. And so I'm going into P-bars. And if you remember, my Makutzes were mental game issues going on last week. My peaches were as well. I was trying more Japanese style technique. And also part of why that peach was so horrible, so every 3 weeks we complete a cycle in our strength and conditioning. And so Monday I did my first beginning cycle of my new strength and conditioning. And we did these exercises called Cuban presses. It's where you have dumbbells. You're here. You pull them up, you rotate, and then you go up. And the back of my shoulders, delts, triceps, and traps literally have never been more fried in my entire life. And so I went to do that peach, and as soon as I started pushing, this part just fired up, and I was like, Andre, I don't think I can do peaches today. Let me just tell you, this week sucks. Look at that Healy. That sucks. And Andre, being the great coach that he is, he's like, hey, you've been going very, very strong. It's okay. Don't hurt yourself. And I was like, okay, well, let's just go safely. Let's do an endurance routine. And, let's burn the calories. That's all the goal is. We're not trying to get the brain firing and building muscle memory. No need to learn new things. And so I took that was 2-3 turns. So kept it very light and being very honest and listening to myself. Because if I push through, that's how you get hurt. And that's the whole purpose of me doing this series is to tell people that you don't need to push through pain. You can do other things to supplement, the way your body hurts to still be productive. I'm still doing a routine, even though I hurt, but I'm just doing things I know I can be safe with and things that I know won't hurt me. And because you need to stay in this game as long as possible. So little rant right there. But let me just check this out real quick while I finish out this little endurance routine. Oh, Zed, you're a Slytherin. I gotta love it. Represent. And what do you mean? What do you mean? We just have lots of ambitions. That is the case. All right, so we're gonna go back into vaults in just a sec. Let me check the chat check real quick. Gymnastics 101. Yeah, that is a classic Tim Daggett statement right there. Flying high and stick. Yeah, they go together. Would you ever collab with another gymnastics YouTuber? I definitely would. As long as it wasn't overbearing. I'm still trying to balance my time right now with practice, family. Mia and the dogs need a lot of attention, and then trying to get this going. That's why I started doing the live, because I was spending way too much time editing, and I'm way better at being live and getting it done fast rather than me just going over and over all my like reviews of like, I just didn't like the things I said half the time, and then I have to redo it. And I spent like 6 hours one night editing like week 3, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, let's try something new, and let's go with like the live way. And so this is the first test, and I think I'm liking it a lot more. But let me finish reading the couple. Whenever you hit, like a knife and soft cheese. Yeah, that's another classic. And one of your teammates is re-injured his back 2 or 3 times trying to push through. Now he's having surgery. Exactly. If there's one thing I want people to do, it's to be safe in this sport. That is the only way people can ever be successful is by being safe. So I don't know why we have this mentality that you have to always push through. I wish when I was younger, I didn't have that mentality. I probably would be a much better gymnast now if I didn't push through when I was younger. So those are definitely my my little 2 cents right there. And my wrist is actually good on P-bars. When I grip this way, it's fine. It's when I get my finger extension, that's when the issues start happening. But yeah, enjoying the live setting too. I like it because then I get to see your guys' feedback. I don't have to wait for comments, and it's a little more personal. I like that. But with that being said, I'm going to hop back into the vault skis. Let's get in there and see if I got any better getting closer to Daike's technique. So, my head is a lot closer, and I'm not throwing as much on this one as I was. And I actually see, we have this line right here. It's this like circle bucket, but it's kind of like our little tester of at what point did I sit up and when did I finish my twist, like at horizontal. So Daike, if he were to be here, his stomach would be facing the board. And so I'm a little bit behind, but I'm not Daike. I'm not there yet, guys. But so here's where I started really. This is when things started going downhill with this new technique. So as you could tell, this is actually a pretty good pre-flight. Like, it's slightly piked, but not too much. The hand isn't bent like it should be. Daike's is much more bent. And then my head is blocking through, which Daike does, which is very good. However, as you can see, my sit-up is very arched. And my hands are really not like behind me for a whip action. I'm already just trying to twist in this arch position. And that is where things like, granted, like I'm here, but if I were to actually do this on the real vault, I would have under-rotated this way too much. And so that was scary. And Paul, my vault is horrible. Like I always have a 3-in-1 split. So I want to be able to safely and comfortably do a cause double, because it's really the big gap that I feel like I'm missing to catch a lot of the bigger gymnasts, like getting on Arthur's radar, getting on Nikita's radar. Like if I'm trying to get a medal, I need to do a 5-6 vault. Like there's no way around it. And so I'm taking this time to relearn, because even before quarantine hit, I didn't like my vaults. So this is my way of trying to reinvent myself with the year I have, my final year, to be better than I was before. And this is part of the steps that I think I have to take, because if I can gain form tests on vault and save a 3-in-1 in pre-flight, that is a huge addition to my all-around score. But yeah, my old technique was just not setting me up for that. So here I am still trying it, and I'm still just looking down the wrong arm. And I'm not sitting up. That's actually like closer to Daike. However, I'm not getting the rotation that Daike's getting. And part of that, I believe, here, if I go back just a little bit, is because I'm so flat in my whole body. Daike arches a lot, and then he sits up, and I'm just like a board going through this position. I'm like a line drive where Daike's got a snap sit, and that's what I'm missing. And these are a little bit better, but it's still not the way Daike's doing. I'm cutting the corner with my head by throwing it the wrong way. So yeah, it's been a journey, and I'll say, me watching this now with what I'm doing, what I came to terms with in week 5, because that's where I'm at now. It's a lot of I've got a lot of new perspectives. So, but I'm not gonna give them away now. I'll give them away later. But now I'll take this time to give an update on the wrist. So this week it's been hurting pretty bad too, mainly because it was overused last week. So didn't want to try any skills. Just said, hey, let's just do the circuit, do our endurance, and let's call it. So I would, going through, but we started talking with the doc, and the doctor was like, hey, we're going to see if we can get you in for an appointment on Friday, and maybe we can start getting more anti-inflammatory, like start opening the talk of another shot, start the conversation of maybe some new medicine. Maybe we can do like a little more intensive rehab. So there's a lot of things that, they wanted to schedule a meeting for Friday to talk about it. And so I'll talk about more about it when it comes once we get into my next Friday horse circuit. But I'm going to skip past this. But I do want to just say, so the end of this circuit is actually the most important part. I don't care about the push-ups, the first 20 circles, or the dips. The most important part is, can I keep my butt squeezed and my feet together in the last 20 circles? Because that is when, if people are going to be good at horse, it's because they can do their dismount flawlessly at the end. These are the circles that help you do a flawless dismount and have that endurance to actually have good circle and control. And so that just something for people who do, pommel circuits. That is the goal. The last portion is the only important part. Doesn't matter what the first part is like. As long as you can do the last part as perfectly as you can, like at the beginning, then you finally have the endurance. And so that's really what I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build my good circle endurance. But yeah, so let me just, before we head into the next, into Friday, I'll just hit the chat up real quick. Where are we at? After Paul Judah's comments, yeah, there's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure versus the Russian guys. Yeah, they're killing it too. And I guess the Russians they're doing a competition in Japan in November. So they're kind of, it's Japan, Russia, and China. I'm like, how'd you get the power three to travel to internationally and to compete against each other? Like, why is everyone rushing this competition? But either way, that's fine. And what up, Dylan? How are you doing, dude? Zed, my favorite event to compete, I gotta go with high bar. That one's just an adrenaline rush. And Haley, you're feeling sad right now, thinking about your sister. Well, I'm sorry. I really hope that she's feeling better. I'm sorry that all happened, especially on her birthday. And is Donathan Bailey training for the Olympics? Haven't seen him compete in a while. Yeah, he's definitely still training. Me and him are buddies. It's just me and him in the gym right now, actually, because quarantine's got the off-complex guys split from the on-complex guys. So it's very interesting. But yeah, he's just really struggling to get his shoulder completely healthy. But we've had a lot of time to recover. So, me and him are grinding. We're grinding out there. And are you going to put the Liukin in a full high bar routine soon? Not going to do it in a full routine soon. I'm not ready to do a 6-5 routine on week 4 or 5. That's going to be probably like a week, like close to week 30 type of thing, because that's the big boy set. The Liukin is that, those are when we've got everything and we're into fine details, and we've mastered the competition sets. That's event finals routines right there. And then how's Donnell? So he's actually going to be moving off complex. He's going to go train with Marvin in Milwaukee. So that's a little update for him. But he's doing well enough in the gym. He's healthy. He's cruising through. So that's the way it goes. And are you going to try Heelys without the mat? That is my goal for this week right now, actually. But first, I also need to I don't feel as confident because I haven't done as many with my wrists being what they were. But soon. And half set soon. So the goal is to do half sets at the to do last halves first. So if once, how I do the endurance routine at the end, the goal is for me to be able to do, my timer taps and then my last half, or, basics for the first half and then a full difficulty last half Once I accomplish that goal, then I can start trying to do first halves. So then I can do the first half in full difficulty and then a watered down first half connected with a full difficulty second half. That is when I know I am finally back to where I was before quarantine. That's the big goal. So we'll get there. And a 6-5 set means 6.5 points in difficulty, which is it's a very high start value, which means it has a lot of difficult skills in it. But biggest goals for this year competition wise, none this year. First competition we're not even sure is going to be Winter Cup, but that's going to be the first big one potentially as of right now. So for that, just want to get back into routine shape. That's the biggest goal. But going into next year, I want to get on the Olympic all-around podium. That is my lifelong goal, and so we're gonna make some moves to get there soon. But we're gonna cruise into Friday, folks, and so the pits are being done. So we're back here. We are back here doing our nice little warm-up, and that did not go well. And because I want to go over this a little bit, I've started. I was talking about vault, having my elbows in. That's something I really started doing on floor as well. It's a very Japanese way of twisting, but I did not do it. I kind of did, but I started getting them out more. I wanted to keep them tighter with an open chest on that punch. That is the biggest goal, because now I'm starting to break in the hips. And when your elbows are close and your chest is up, your hips are also tight, and that helps you get a lot more rotation. So that's why this one was so ugly, and I did that like crappy run out. But then we start going into double front. Still, honestly, didn't look like that was half outable. And that's most of the goal. And that one was still kind of shaky. Guys, I'm still not feeling 100%. And that was a pretty good 2.5. That might have been double frontable, but we're not going to try the double front on this floor for the very first time. We'll do that in the back once we have our pits in the mat, or mats in the pit back in. So then we start going into the routine. Just a nice watered down one. Always focusing on sticks. That's always appreciated. But I'll just let this one play through. I'll grab a couple questions from the chat. Your sister is home, guys. Oh, that's good. She's all good. I'm glad to hear it. And let's see, men. Are you upgrading anything other than vaults? I had all my upgrades essentially before. Oh yeah, that was a really ugly. I lost all technique on that double full. But the Makut's was the upgrade I was working on before quarantine hit. The Liukin was the upgrade on high bar. The Makut's is P bars, and then the vault was the big upgrade. Could do a cause double instead of a cause 1.5. Other than that, everything else would be the same, but now we're just trying to get everything back and the upgrades back, and just trying to get into routine shape, some type of routine shape, being able to piece together 10 skills on 6 events on Fridays. That's the big goal. So we're just slowly bridging the gap until we can get to that point. And so then we take it into P bars. Let's see. I think I didn't do too many turns here. I was just like, let's try to get through this day, make sure I can do my routines safely. So let's not burn our energy on a lot of skills. You can tell these Heelys still really aren't that good. Like, I'm going to pause it right. Actually, that one was good. The last one, I had a bit of a arm bend on that catch, I think. Makut's is still loose. I think of it too late. I'm like, stay tight. And then I start going and I forget. But yeah, you see how that arm just bent so much? That's like part of, like, here I am. And not a confident catch because my wrist doesn't feel that good. So we're not yet ready. That would have hurt so bad if the mat wasn't there. But we're going to get there, I promise, guys. I just, being very safe, being very cautious. That felt better. Turns like that will give me confidence. And decide let's do our one to pelt for the day because I am still super sore and just exhausted. And so you could tell I didn't have much energy for that one. Kind of barely made it. Tried some peaches. The technique is just not what I want. But I actually made a lot of progress in week 5. I'll tell you that. So get ready for next week's peaches. They're different than I even did before quarantine. And yeah, you can tell I'm like frustrated. I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like, I just things aren't going well. They're not clicking. I'm foggy in my mind. Let's try it again. I dumped my shoulders and whatever. wasn't what I wanted. But no, we'll be seeing them soon. And so I finally did the drop cast before the Hanma. That was something I was like, I need to progress somewhere this week. And so I tried doing that, and that was actually a much tighter Makutes. I think I just got lucky though. It wasn't as conscious as I wanted it to be. And that Healy was a lot tighter too. I didn't break in my hips as much. So, maybe I was just like getting frustrated, and I was like, well, now that I've only got one turn to make it count, maybe I can focus a little bit more. But my head's just coming out so much on those still. And so that's what I'm going to address next week, my head position on my peaches. But we got a lot of – the rest of it is just going to be endurance. I don't think I do the Tapelt because I'm just too exhausted to really try that. Just kidding, psych. I decided that I'm going to do the Tapelt. Man, I was ambitious when I wasn't feeling good. And, I think that might have been a little bit better. It was sloppy, but I'm just trying to survive right now, which is why I don't think it was a smart move for me to actually go for that. Don't tell me I do the dismount. Oh, no. Oh, wow. That actually went better than I thought, guys. Maybe I didn't feel as bad on Friday as I thought. Oh, no, it's Friday. I totally forgot. I went to the doctor. So, okay, that's actually what happened. So I missed the first 30 minutes of practice because the doctor called me in to say, hey, Sam, let's check your wrists out. And so they put me on Mobic, which is this hardcore anti-inflammatory. Here, let me open this bad boy up real quick. Ooh, wrong grab. So they put me on this hardcore anti-inflammatory. They gave me sent me home with a game ready so I can ice a lot more. They sent me this Firefly, which is like stim that constantly sends shocks and just does like a lot of blood flow through the area to try to reduce inflammation. They put me on an Ionto 3 times a week, which is like this magnetic medicine that 2 patches, and then it starts pulling the inflammation because this guy's just still, he's got a lot in there, and he's restricting my like range of motion in here. And then they got me doing like all these exercises where I'm trying to like reach my, like get the nerves to start firing a little bit more in these extreme ranges. So I do things like this as my rehab, like actually, and I have to like do Egyptian pizza serves as part of my other rehab. But it's like all about finger flexion through that extension. So there's a lot of things they're putting me on. But that Mobic, man, that stuff is some strong stuff. Let me tell you. I stopped taking ibuprofen after my Achilles tear just because I didn't want to rely on drugs. But man, I am probably going to be relying on this for the rest of the year. But it's only 1 year, right? Like, we can send it for 1 year. But as long as I can safely do it. But also what they said is we can start doing injections. We can do some and plan them out for competitions, but we can do it now. But let's try all these different extreme remedies. And then if it still doesn't work after 2 weeks, then we can go back to put another injection in. So that was the conversations we had. But so I was super late to this practice, and now I only had like an hour and a half to get through 6 events. So I was like, well, let's just rush through. But I guess I felt pretty good on P-bars. I was kind of happy once I got all these talks done with the doctors, because I was like, well, now I'm finally like making moves. I feel like I'm progressing towards getting my wrist to feel better. So that was a very happy conversation. I think it put me in a good mood for P-bars, so that was good. But yeah, so that was the talk. And then I'm trying to do high bar on this outside high bar, and like we didn't do the tension the right way. It was just a new environment, so I wasn't feeling confident. You can tell those Tkachevs are kind of slacking, and I decided let's just let's try figuring out how to be tight knees on these taps. Like, let's make that priority number 1 for today. And yeah, this was a very ugly layout Tkachev. I regret trying that. I was like, I didn't put my whole heart into that one. So then I'm like, all right, we're just gonna keep doing these taps, and it's a horrible angle. I really wish I didn't use this angle because you can't even tell when I tap if they're bent. But trust me, they weren't good. I'll say that. And so, I didn't do much on this turn. I did I did the Zuli, of course, and the half talk. Just kidding. Oh, I didn't do the half talk, and then I've lost the footage of my half talk afterwards. So I did a half talk, and it actually was pretty good. I will say that. But now I'm into the routines, trying to be tight in the legs. But while this endurance routine goes down, I'm going to check out that chat real quick. And let's see. Oh, wow. We got a lot in the chat. Shoot, I'm sorry. There we go. What's your dream skill? Takachi Salto is probably my dream skill. Are you and Don Don still friends? Yeah, we're still friends. He's just not going to be training with us, and he thinks it's a good personal move for him to go to what's it called, Milwaukee, to train. He wants a little more freedom. The training center can be a little restrictive, so that's the big reason. And what's this hardest skill you have? Right now, I'd say the Casina's the one that gives me the most work. And yeah, I'm gassed, guys. I remember trying. I didn't even do the half talk or the Zuli in this one, and didn't do the dismount. I was like, let's just. I didn't even want to do the Stalder. I don't think. All I did was the Quast, and it was ugly. Yeah, that was real ugly. So yeah, I'm dead tired. I'm like, all right, let's just get ready to end this day, because I need to rush through it too. So I'm also like, I don't think I recovered from my turns before doing this endurance routine, which not an ideal situation. And we're back to vault. We're trying things again. Guys, I'm very committed to making vault it's the one event that I think I hate the most, but that's the one I'm doing the most because I want to get so much better at it. And so here I'm trying to bend my arm more like Daiki. I can't remember who it was in the chat that we were talking about that, but today's the day I started going for that. And so I'm still blocking off to the side, and my head's not behind me, and I'm not in this tight arch position. I'm too hollowed blocking off the table. That's the difference with Daiki and myself. And so then there I am, like looking down rather than sitting up in a tight arch position. And you're honestly, like, that's everything. I pretty much do that in every single one of these vaults. But next week, I start making some changes, and I feel good about it. But, yeah, while these play out, I'll just check out a couple more of the chat. Have I ever thought of doing double pike? Are you talking about, like, Yuchenko double pike? I don't know when the double pike, that might have been a little while ago. When did you talk about the double pike? What event was that on? Oh, you noticed the Hogwarts shirts? Oh yeah, and then we're getting into Saturday. Oh yeah, because Friday I ran out of time. I couldn't do rings or pommel horse, and so that was kind of a bit of a letdown. Oh shoot, sorry, that's not even playing right now. All you guys can see is me, huh? But yeah, there's a lot of chats. I'm gonna just skip down. Sorry if I missed some of your guys's. Oh, shoot, I'm not seeing the video. We can't see it. Yeah, I know. That's my bad. Did that happen for all of Vault, guys? Oh, I'm sorry if that was the case. Shoot. How long has this been going on, guys? What event was I covering? Oh, sorry. I was just so caught up in the moment. Still no video. How's my back handling all this? My back is actually doing really well. Do you ever get butterflies when you fly on high bar? Sometimes I do. When I get a really good one, I do. But yeah, what I was saying when you guys couldn't see is that, as you can tell, I'm coming onto the table, a little more bent arm. I tried bending it, but I'm too hollowed as I'm coming off the table. And you can tell my arms aren't doing anything productive to help initiate twist. So that's the gist of pretty much all the vaults that I did for this day. And so you guys all of vault and high bar? Shoot, well here. All right, well oh my god, all of high bar? Jesus. Well, here, I'll do a quick review of high bar because it was ugly. It was not fun. Where are we at? High bar right coming up in a sec. So here we go, high bar. All I really do are a bunch of taps that, as I said earlier, are not as good as I wanted them to be. And they're ugly. The angle sucks because we're not able to use the other gym. I try that Takachev and the bar doesn't feel where it should feel. And then I also try a layout Takachev. I'm trying these taps. I stopped the Japanese technique. I was like, this isn't going to work, but maybe we can try doing something where I'm like, just, like literally I'm not doing Coleman today. Let's just do the taps perfectly. And I still really didn't do it. So it was kind of a letdown, and I was just rushing through. I mean, it looks like they're trying to be better, but it's too much in my hips and my knees and not enough in my shoulders. That was really what I learned. And so I'm not going to make you guys watch the rest of it. That was about as exciting. Oh, the Zuli, I guess, is kind of exciting. I do some taps, whatever, that still weren't up to standards that I would like them to be. Zuli, good enough. I like the Zuli. That one's a fun one. Bail, because I just did not have good pressure coming into that half talk. Missed the half talk. All right, so now we'll get back to the end of what? That was Friday complete. So now I get to do my endurance that I missed on Friday on Saturday for horse and rings. And we have an added bonus. Andre didn't think I was doing enough strength, and we end up doing a circuit. So it gets to be a little bit crazy, but once again, we'll skip through this and we'll just check out how the quality of the last 20 circles are. Still, bendy in the hips a little bit. I'm piking extension, but that's also because my wrist doesn't allow me to get over, so I compensate with that by just doing just by doing a pike in the hips instead of leaning over. But this is my first day of taking the Mobic too, so I should be feeling a little bit better, but it takes a couple days for it to finally kick in. And I'll take you guys through the circuit. I promise. Let's see. So yeah, I'm into that handstand game, and it's going pretty good. We're gonna just zoom in. Oh, this is when things start getting shaky, huh? Yeah, look at those feet. Look at those heels separated. I'm trying though. I'm fighting, guys, and we're almost in an invert. But yeah, then it's also ring strength day, because that's Saturdays. It's get swole days because we have Sundays off, and it's a good day to recover. Tear those muscle fibers so that they can grow with 48 hours of recovery. And so yeah, warm up with the usual warm up in the Dream Machine. We'll skip through that, and we'll get into the 35-pound weight vest. Very slow Azarian. You could tell I was feeling that one. Andre making sure I'm flat on my Malteses. Hollow chest. Slight butt squeeze to make the heels higher, because usually sometimes I'll just be like piked and low. But that was a much better Azarian. I got right to that. That was appreciated. And then Maltese, nice and flat, because down to Andre standards. Nakayama. Oh yeah, baby. They're coming along, guys. I'm getting stronger. This is week 4. And granted, I'm still using weight, but man, it's a quick progression. All right, so here's the circuit for you, Haley. Oh, you asked why you do double front half on floor. Oh, instead of the double pike. Yeah. So, okay, exercise 1, rope twice. But back to you, Colt. It's because there were times if I ever landed the double pike wrong on floor and short, my back would be out of commission for like 2 weeks. And so it really just started becoming like, let's just not risk that one bad turn to ruin me for a couple weeks. And let's just do a double front half and try to keep our knees together and be good, so that I don't have these other deductions and I don't have a risk of having 2 weeks out of the gym. So there's that. So yeah, starts with rope, and then we go into 20 circles on pommels. I had already done this horse circuit, so this is on top of what I had already done. That's why it looks so ugly, because I'm already so dead from the pommel circuit. So sorry that didn't look good. Plus, I just did a rope too. Like, this is a hard circuit, guys. Like, I almost threw up at the end of this. But yeah, then it's so 20 circles, exercise 2, and then 6 dip planges. And after doing the circles, man, it is a doozy. And but yeah, how long has Andre been my coach? He's been my coach since 2015. He was he coached me in 2015. He became my head coach in 2017. So do what you will with that one. But yeah, we're always putting chalk on our hands. And so that was 12 it was either 10 or 12. Sorry, I can't remember, guys. Reverse pull-ups. And so this is all about balance. I'm trying to get a balance. Like, it's supposed to be an upper body circuit, but that's also to help the back of the shoulders. You want to have good balance between the two so you don't have labrum surgery. And then, that's 12 handstand push-ups. Get spotted because right now I'm wheezing like a smoker. It's really bad. It's really bad. And then next one, this is one that I like because it's a lot of stability, helps build the smaller muscles. But I think this is exercise 5, and it's 30 push-ups. Your chest has to touch the ball. They honestly, now I'm watching it, it doesn't look that challenging, but I swear to you guys, like having to actually stabilize that ball while you're going through ranges of motion is so hard. But yeah, so this is this exercise 5. Let's see, I'm cruising through this pretty good, honestly. I mean, I've been more timing myself, so I think I did this whole circuit in 5 minutes and 47 seconds, and then next week I'm supposed to try to beat that. So those are the things that we're going for, the goals. So finish my 30 there, and then where am I off to next? Oh yeah, I had to check and make sure that I had the right exercise. But I'm also stalling because I'm like so out of breath. But yeah, then this next one, butter makers, 5 on each side. My upper body is very much wrecked right now. But yeah, so 5 on each side. I won't make you guys go through everything. After that, this is the hardest part. And this is like endurance for your P-bar routine when you have a double front dismount or double front half dismount at the end. You need that upper bar strength while you're gassed out. And so this is 10 upper arm dips. And you're going to see, like, I'm slowing down. I think I've got, like, 3 more. And I'm, like, really fighting. I'm also about to throw up at this point, too. Because this is the hardest exercise out of everything right now. But we completed it. And then we run all the way through. You like how I cut these? I was very impressed with myself. I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, I'm just going to show me running for a little bit. Oh, but, yeah. Wait, Haley, can you not? What are you talking about, Fim? But all right, so this is part of the balance. I like to end everything with the back of the shoulders. Like I already front loaded pretty hard, with the first, 7 exercises. But yeah, so then Andre's trying to talk to me while I'm like dying. I'm like, bro, let me just do my rehab. Let me do my conditioning. Don't talk to me right now. But yeah, so it's 10 reverse, cross pulls, I call them. 10-second hold. Then I do 10 reverse Malteses. And this is all back of the shoulder balancing. Absolutely recommend it. This is how I haven't had a shoulder surgery like a lot of other gymnasts have. So I do 10 of them, and then I do 10-second hold. And we're cruising, guys. We've got one more exercise after, and I'll skip to it. It's dumbbell flies, 20 of them. So I did the cross pulls with 5-pound or 8-pound weights. Did the Malteses with 5-pound weights, and these are with 12-pound weights. Mainly because we don't have anything. We go from 12 to 25, and I'm not ready to do 25. So that's the progression that we're at. And then that is the entirety of the week right there. So big moves. I'm going to pull this up real quick so that we can throw on the display. Because now I want to talk. Okay, well, I'm going to sum it up for you guys real quick. So week 4, that was 60 turns, 11 routines. And as you guys can probably compare, wrong screen, from week 3, that was significantly less than week 3. Week 4 sucked. It was a drop. But because I dropped, where do you go from bottom? Back up, baby. And so next week is going to be a good week. It's currently this week that I'm filming it, halfway through the week. But goals for next week. We're getting the back triple full. We're going to try the 2.5 double front. High bar, the better knees on the Kovacs tap. That's always the goal. Horse, let's just hope that all the scientific remedies are going to help my wrist feel better. Rings, we're going to add a couple more exercises to my conditioning. Vault, I need to get that sit-up feeling on the drills. That is the big goal. P-bars, I want to get a peach half. I really need to focus on my peaches. I make some moves. But we're going to see how tomorrow goes because I haven't done the peach half yet. It's a little spoiler. We're going to try a Bovsar. We're going to try a double front half. And we're going to try the full Makooch drill, still with the mat, but we're going to drop down. Still not ready for no mats. Maybe that's going to be a week 6 kind of thing, but we'll get to it soon. And so that's going to wrap things up for episode number 4. This is an hour and 8 minutes. That's the Slytherin in me right there. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. It was so much fun having your feedback. I hope you guys appreciate it. I'm going to try this again for week 5 on Sunday. And then after that, I'm hoping to have a strict routine of always doing this on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So now that I'm all caught up, I can make this a weekly thing. And, people are usually free Sunday nights. So I figured that's a good time to do the stream. People might be a little busy, but I think this is the way that I'm going to go for a while, unless I decide this isn't and you guys decide that this isn't working. But I like it. Hope you guys do too. Until next time, hopefully I see you guys on Sunday. So you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for all your feedback. Thank you for